This is A-Game. Fast acting, long lasting, with no side effects.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So I've got a clip of a video to show you. The video is about 5 minutes long, but I'm not going to play that. I'm only going to play about a minute and a half. And what we're talking about today is why Black women only give the bare minimum to Black men. And we're going to go ahead and delve into this situation. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and then we'll be back with my perspective.
Why are men expected to go above and beyond, but it's okay for a woman to give the bare minimum as far as relationships?
I think they're expected to go above and beyond because men kind of generally grow up as providing for women, and if they can't provide, they don't feel man enough, kind of thing. So they kind of go above and beyond to prove their woman, or probably people in her family, like, yo, I got her, I got us, kind of thing. So yeah, it might be because of that.
To me, I think men have like a history. I'm not gonna lie, like everybody, like
Of
I feel like you
pleasing
hear
women.
more stories of men cheating than women. Like women do it. Don't get me wrong, women be out here
Y'all just
cheating.
cleaner with it. Yeah,
The
As long
women
as
be
you
out
know.
here cheating, but I feel like you hear more stories of men, and that kind of scares off women a little bit. I think.
so that's why I feel like y'all should just give the bare minimum.
No, I mean, I feel like men should just like prove themselves real quick. I don't know.
But what are you guys proving to us?
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so here's the thing.
Mhm.
A lot of men come off like, I'm gonna take care of you, or I got this, or I got that. So me being me, if you step in and be like that, you're gonna have to show me. I mean, you talking about it, so you know.
So you don't feel like you don't need to reciprocate
I mean, if I feel like it, if that's what
if you feel like it.
I'm not gonna say if I feel like it, but
deserve it.
if you are giving me those vibes, like if we vibing, if I'm digging you, or I'm gonna reciprocate it all.
I think that's the problem, though.
Okay, so you guys were able to hear that real quick snippet. I'll go ahead and put the link in the description box for that video if you want to watch the rest of it, because it's an interesting conversation. I just didn't want to play a whole 5 minutes of somebody else's content. But here's the thing. You heard the young lady in the middle towards the end of that piece of the clip say, when she was asked, will you reciprocate? She's like, well, if I feel like it. And she meant it. And when he said, if you feel like it, like, let me repeat that back to you so you can hear how that sounds. And when he let her hear how that sounded, well, she was like, well, not if I feel like it. Well, no. She meant that. She meant it the way that she said it. She meant it when she said it. Like they like to say, I said what I said. She said what she said. And so here's the deal. Black women give the bare minimum to Black men because she doesn't feel a need to reciprocate. Right. And the reason she doesn't feel any need to reciprocate anything is because whatever she's getting is her only concern. She's just simply not concerned with anything that he wants. It took them a while, even in that 5-minute clip, for the women to even ask, well, what do men want? Like, what do they want? Because it rarely ever occurs to the so-called modern Black woman about what a man, specifically a Black man, what he would want out of a relationship. And the reason why it doesn't occur to her to ask is because she never intends to give it. That isn't even a consideration for her. She's not concerned about what he wants, because whatever he wants, whether it was in her wheelhouse, whether it was in her capability to give it or not, this isn't something that she intends to give, but she does want to receive. and she wants to receive something that every woman wants to receive, no matter what the nature of the so-called relationship is. And she always wants to receive these. She always wants the 4 P's. She wants provision, she wants problem solving, she wants protection, and she wants procreation. And if she's a hyena, she wants him to give her 4 P's and ignore 4 T's, particularly trouble and threat, and really time. Like, she wants him to ignore her trouble, ignore her threat, give her time, and give her toll. Okay? So when we're talking about hyenas, this is where that bare minimum stuff comes from, right? And he has to consistently prove that he's willing and ready to always give the 4 P's no matter what. And realize that as this conversation is taking place, nobody's really talking about marriage or commitment. They're just talking about, if I happen to talk to you, what are the expectations? And what the lost value system has taught men and women is that there are no expectations, because under the lost value system, it's only the transaction. So there is no intent, particularly on the part of women. Women do not get with men with any intent, right? She's dating with the loosest form of that word that you could possibly come up with. And under the lost value system, the loosest definition of dating is the transaction, not the relationship. Okay? So there is no reciprocity for her to give, because her presence and her sex is part of the transaction. So this is why they be so mystified as to when men are asking, well, what do we get? Well, you get what you quote unquote came for. You came for the transaction, did you not? So, okay, you take me out, you give me a little money, you ignore my trouble, you ignore my threat, and in return, you get some sex, you get my presence, and that type of thing. All right, this is not a courtship. This isn't a situation where we're looking to get married, or that's the expressed intent at the outset. When we come together, this is why we're coming together. Nobody states that. The woman doesn't state, well, I don't want to date, I want to be courted because I want a marriage. Like, I'm looking to be a wife. So if you're not looking to do that, then I don't really want to even engage casually, because that doesn't lead anywhere, doesn't go anywhere. And the reality of it is that she's not even really meant to speak that out of her mouth. Her demeanor is supposed to tell a man whether or not she's for play or for real. Right? And this is why I focus the honest on women for this, because she's not the gatekeeper of relationships, but she is the gatekeeper of sex. Right? So, but too many Black women hand that out with no intent. That doesn't even have any specific intent behind it. Just giving it out because it's a bunch of 304s. Right? Because the truth of the matter is, under the lost value system, there isn't, like I said, no courtship. She's not getting with men looking for the relationship or the marriage. She wants an enabler for her chaos, is what she wants. That's what she's looking for. This is why a lot of these women be, what you mean, what you want? What you mean, bring to the table? What you mean, what you get in return? And then when dudes be like, don't say sex, they be like, okay, but isn't that part of the transaction though? See, we have to start looking at it from that lost value system perspective. Because we can talk about what should be, but we also got to talk about what is, right? She wants these women, these modern Black women, these hyenas, gynocrats, whatever you want to call them, want the enabler. They are not looking for husbands, because they are not looking for leaders. They are not looking for system, order, and structure. They are not looking for a way out of their chaos. They are not trying to leave. Okay? They like the boneyard. They like it over there. The elephant graveyard is their home. They are not trying to come from the chaos of the elephant graveyard to the order of the Pride Lands. They don't want to do it. Simple and plain. So in her mind, that shouldn't cost her. Her getting an enabler for her chaos shouldn't cost her anything. Why should that cost us something? In her mind, this is how you got to look at it. Because we're underneath this lost value system where women don't have the proper value. They don't have marriage market value, very few. So she's not developing personal market value, belonging market value, friendship market value. She's certainly not developing marriage market value because that would be the development of the previous 4. She's only dealing in her sexual market value because under the lost value system, that's the only one she has. That's the only one that means anything. She's not looking to cultivate any of that other stuff. So she thinks that the men that are coming to her understand that already. This is why she treats the men like Jonathans and tricks. Right? Why should she reciprocate anything to her enabler? You're there to assist her in chaos, not bring her out of it. You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them. Okay? She looking for somebody to join the Sith. She ain't trying to be no Jedi. Go to the Jedi order. That whole little word, order, the Jedi order. So it's order over there. So she ain't trying to do all of that. That's the bottom line. He's there to participate in her chaos and her madness in exchange for sex and her presence. Every man under this system dealing with the modern Black woman, dealing with these hyenas, is a John or a trick. And it's that way because her profession is prostitution. That's what she does. She enters into the exchange with men to give her sex for his resources, for his time, for his dates. This is why she don't care if he move on. This is why she don't really care about none of that stuff. She ain't really phased by, or at least she act as if she's not, because this is about the transaction. It's not about love or the potential of marriage or the potential of legacy being left or having a man's children or being submissive under his leadership it's not about none of that. It's not about none of that. Okay? This is why she's given the bare minimum in these so-called relationships, because they're not relationships. A prostitute give you the bare minimum what you pay for. She ain't there to be your woman. Now, if you want to spend your time and money talking to her about your wife problems and not having no sex, is fine by her, long as her time get paid for. She don't care. It might be a little annoying, but it also might be a bit of a break. He come here to use me for therapy, and he pay me the same rate that I would charge anybody else for the sex. Fine. My pimp don't mind because I'm still at the end of the day bringing him the right amount of money. Okay? But here's the other part. Real women are not looking for the transaction. Real women are looking for the exchange. And there's a difference between a transaction and an exchange, because the transaction implies that there is a one-for-one material thing, your money or whatever, for my sexual attention. Boom. A transaction is like going into a store and buying a bag of chips. Okay? The transaction, I give you money, you give me chips. Okay? I give you money, you give me pop. Okay? I give you money, you give me candy bars. That's the transaction. The exchange, though, it implies that there is more than the physical thing being exchanged. And it also implies the actual reciprocation. It's the exchange not only of the physical thing, but also the intangible. So it's an exchange of the tangibles as well as the intangibles. So when a real woman is approaching or gets approached for the relationship, She's actually willing to meet the standard that she's asking for. She's willing and ready to give what she's asking. In terms of, this is the real reciprocation that we're talking about. So women who have value are not looking to transact because they're not prostitutes. And the men are not Johns and Tricks. The men are men. And the relationship is the relationship. So when I'm looking for the exchange, that means I accept the leadership, the system, and order and structure. I accept you to bring me out of my chaos. I accept that, and I want you to do that. I'm a willing participant. I can't wait to have my chaos ordered. That's the difference. So sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites. Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.